So it is Thursday, February 4th, 2021. It's 2:10 a.m. I am on my way to the gym. I had received an email last night. For many of you who know, I've been training with a group of guys that we've done other events, and we were training for another Ironman that was to be held in Oceanside, California, March 16th of this year. And so with the pandemic going on, we had wasn't sure if they were going to keep doing it. So we have been training just like the last time we trained, not knowing what was going to happen when the hottest Ironman on record, which was the Arizona 70.3. We didn't know how that was going to go, and we trained, and it paid off because we trained all the way up until the point that it was ready to go, and they didn't cancel it. And so I received an email last night that said, unfortunately, with we're going to cancel this event, and said something else. I pretty much stopped right there. And it got me to thinking about how often life really, throws a curveball and puts you in a position where it feels like almost quitting would be better than going on, because no matter what you do, it's like you can't catch a break, right? And right now I'm talking about something as simple as an Ironman competition. I'm not even talking about life. Ironman's fine. I can get out here and run a half a mile and bike 50 miles and swim a mile and a half. I can do that. That's just because they said that they're not going to host it. All that means is I don't win a medal. Well, what about when you get notice that the money that was supposed to be there because you were already behind on your rent isn't going to show up? Or what about that raise that you were considering that you thought should have been given and it wasn't given? Or what about the money that you loaned out to somebody, when you were in a good place, and now that you're not in such a good place, you need that money back? What about when those unexpected things pop up and rear their ugly head? What do you do then? And I think the immediate reaction is to quit. The immediate reaction is to feel hopeless, right? I had a talk with my wife last night, and I said, I'm not even really worried about anything that comes up. I mean, I'm not worried. I mean, there's been plenty of times we done been down to our last, and every time a check comes, every time the check gets bigger. The more you grow in faith, the bigger that check gets. And so, but what if that check doesn't come? See, it'd be very easy for me to say, last night I looked at it, because I looked at the email probably right around, I want to say about 5:36. We already know what our training schedule for the week is. So had I had woke up around 5:30 or 6, I could have just said, I'm not going to work out today. But you got to remember something. Life and what it throws at you, it's really not trying to hurt you. It really isn't. Life is just simply seeing how you will handle the situation. How are you going to handle this situation? Are you going to take it in stride? Are you going to press forward? Are you going to quit? And the reason why, you might say, well, why is it screwing with me so bad? I really need this to happen. And God says, I won't put more on your shoulders than you can bear. So you're not at a point, you're never going to, as a child of God, you're never going to be at a point that you're going to deal with something in your life that you can't overcome. It may feel hard, like with the loss of a family member or relative. It may feel like forever, but I promise one day you'll smile again, you'll laugh again, you'll tell a joke again, you'll reminisce about the person who passed away, who you thought you would never get over, who you thought you wanted to jump in the grave with them, you just wanted to call it quits. You will tell a story about them that will make you laugh. And make you happy that it was better to love and lost than to never have loved at all. By the way, that's one of my favorite sayings. But life wants to see. And you might say, well, I'm ready. How you know you're ready for $1 million? Have you ever had it? Well, no. I asked the client yesterday, I said, what would happen if, we sold your house and put $250,000 in your account? Would you know what to do with it? Just, no. No. And so life tests you. Because it wants to give you all the money, it wants to give you all the love, it wants to give you everything that your heart desires. But are you ready? And when life drops a bomb on your plans, your plans, you want to see God laugh? Tell him your plans. You can become conditioned that when something happens unexpectedly, you just smile and say, it's a part of the process. But when something affects you, like I have money on this. Luckily, I didn't book my hotel and I didn't book my flight or whatever I was going to do, but I paid for the event. I trained for the event. The training by itself was worth thousands of dollars. But when things don't go your way, and you're sitting there saying, I'm prepared for this. Why is it not coming? And life says, because I threw you a couple bones and you choked. Now you want me to give you everything you think your heart desires? Learn how to take the doors closing, the lessons in life. Learn how to take them in stride. And know that if you press through it, everything you want to happen will come to fruition. But rewinding real quick, I told my wife, I said, it's not even like I'm worried about anything. It seems like if we ever get short on anything, a check shows up. A check always shows up. And now the checks get bigger, but they always show up at the right time. But I told her, I said, I'm tired of the check showing up at the right time. I want abundance. I appreciate the check, but I want the check never to run out. See, I'm past the point of being okay that the manna doesn't drop down from the sky. Now I'm saying I want the fatty calf. I want the manna. I want the fatty calf. I want the abundance of finances. I want the overflow. I want the money that comes in that pays off houses for me, pays off houses for my relatives. I appreciate the small, because small always comes in right on time. But I believe that I'm worthy of the abundance. And that's where you got to get at in life. You got to get past the point of things telling you no, the disappointment, get past that and get to a point where you're saying, I live in abundance. I don't care about these little small problems. Everything I need, I have access to. I live in abundance.